Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Capricorn. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your first week of March 2021. And just a quick heads up for you, the astrology we're talking about in this video, the full moon in Virgo, is also going to be applicable to the second week of March, because again, full moons last 2 weeks in their influence. And this last full moon just occurred on the 27th of February. So we're seeing, again, 2 full weeks of this in March. And speaking of which, let's just talk about it now. That full moon in your 9th house, which is Virgo, of higher education, government and legal proceedings, travel, culture, social expansion, is actually doing a number on a lot of limitations that you've been working with, or maybe limitations you've brought into this year with you. Because this full moon in Virgo is all about clearing. I've said this to everybody pretty much so far. Clearing a lot of old mainstays, routines, patterns, schedules. And what happens with a full moon in Virgo is that we are seeing an old way of life go through the ringer and get cleared, and whatever can be updated, upgraded, and improved is, and anything else that can't is substituted. Now, in your case with the 9th house, this is actually something that's going to be purging and dispelling a lot of maybe contracts or restrictions that you have been working and living with for some time, whether these are things that maybe have prevented you from being able to move as freely as you'd like within your company, within your field, within your spiritual practice, things that may have actually been prohibiting you from moving in general, anything relating to travel, academia. The world is opening up to you, Capricorn people, at this time. I will also say that as it relates to spirituality and practice, this is a level up moon, and you may be finding that a lot of your spiritual practice, however you've been doing it, is going to be going through a bit of an overhaul during this time, because I can tell you from personal experience, this is also a time where a lot of our guides and our own higher selves, our higher levels, have a tendency to start implementing and enforcing new tactics, new abilities, new skills, and refining the ones we have. But again, taking us out of maybe a terrain that has become a sandbox, and we are now again expanding into more deep skills, deep abilities as well. So a lot of you Capricorn people, look and watch the world open up to you during this time. Pay attention to what is no longer an impediment. And where that freedom of movement is occurring, because that's going to be your sign as to where you can make a jump. As we get onto your spiritual themes of this week, what is actually going on behind the scenes of everything, you've got the 6 of Swords upright, very much in alignment with that 9th house full moon. The 6 of Swords is all about not only moving into the unknown and expanding your horizons, but a transition from familiar territory, familiar patterns, familiar waters into the unknown, which actually is going to present a much better situation for you in all respects. So a lot of areas of your life are now coming into a space where they are going through a guided evolution process, becoming not only more productive or more abundant, but also more loving, more functional, more dynamic, more multifaceted. The 6 of Swords is asking for a lot of you to pay attention to where the movement is not only being enforced and suggested, but where a lot of the old that maybe you used to feel secure in, or maybe a lot of the old you used to hate, is dying off no matter what you do. and allow yourself to get in that boat again and do that travel, do that moving on to bigger and better things. As we get onto your material shifts with work, finances, your job, you have the Knight of Wands upright. And a lot of you are going to be finding that you're getting a really cool opportunity to follow somebody's lead into a very lucrative project or maybe a lucrative job opportunity itself. Because the Knight of Wands I'm seeing is somebody who is actually kind of extending their hand to you. Like they want you to get on their horse and they will guide you to your next destination professionally, financially. With the Knight of Wands, I am seeing that this is something that's going to promise quick rewards or quick results, quick developments for you. So even if you feel like you've only got a little bit of time to spend entertaining this, give it, because this could actually be something that snowballs throughout the rest of this month. I am seeing this being a very good money week for a lot of you, especially because the Knight of Wands can also accelerate a lot of pending processes that maybe if you've been waiting on, if you've been waiting on news, been waiting on feedback, waiting on results, or anything that needs to come through so you can move forward. If anything pending, we're going to start seeing some resolutions during this time. As we get on to your challenge this week, not your challenge, don't mean to skip this, sorry, back to the communications. When it comes to your communications, your friends, your relatives, other people in your life, you've actually got the Tower card in reverse. And so there may be some news going on about something very difficult occurring with a friend or a relative, but it's not necessarily happening to you personally. I want to remind everyone that this puts us in a position to be a witness or a bystander or somebody who may experience this in a vicarious fashion. In my tarot home study course, I describe this sensation as kind of like the neighborhood grocery store burning down. It's not happening to you directly, but you are going to have to, of course, adjust. And maybe there are some people that you want to help out. And with the Tower card reversed, it could be actually an ending or a transition to a living situation, a relationship, or maybe even just something befalling somebody that you know, that it's an end that you actually either saw coming, like this was something that you saw coming that they didn't see coming, or possibly something that needed to come to an end because it was unhealthy, it was unstable or unsustainable. Keep compassion in mind. Do your part to support and care, but be careful not to do the I told you so or I see why this happened. When it comes to your challenges this week, you've actually got the Eight of Wands in reverse. And I'm actually seeing that a lot of you Capricorn people are going to be actually encountering a lot of need to maybe control, whether it's coming from yourself or maybe things going on in your environment, where the temptation to slow down developments is actually occurring, because we don't want to slow down a lot of these developments that are actually happening here. One of the big things about the Eight of Wands reverse that I'm getting is that when all of these propositions or these events kind of show up, the fastest integration is going to be the best for all concerned. Even if it seems like things with the Knight of Wands might be happening too fast to manage, or the Tower card reversed may be a very complicated matter, this is not a time to be trying to slow things down and or even put things off to another week or another month, because a lot of this week is giving you a lot of very pleasant, very positive surprises. However, when you're dealing with other people, if you find that some other people are acting or behaving in a way that is too slow, or they're having a hard time coping with the pace that is being set here, we're going to want to make sure that we don't leave them in charge of anything important either. Either we take it into our own hands, or we pinch hit for somebody that is able to keep up with things as we are going. Because your biggest challenge is basically going as fast as everything is around you. As we get on to your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, we do have the King of Pentacles in reverse. And it does feel like a lot of pressure, whether it's status pressure, material pressure, money pressure, is getting put on either you or you and a partner or just a partner this week. And with the King of Pentacles reversed, it's not pressure, when it comes to say like issues with lack, or having to deal with lack, but it has to do with the pressure to maybe have more, the pressure to feel achieved, feel a sense of status, keep up with the Joneses. And this might actually be making people behave in very strange ways, or maybe in very maybe too driven of ways. I think it is possible for people to get too addicted to ambition. And you might be noticing that it's creating some tension in the relationship where it does not even need to belong. And so we're going to have to find out what has been triggering this sensation, what has been setting this off, whether it's within us both, our partner, something, pressure coming from the outside. How do we work this out to actually get things back to a place of harmony? For those of you who are currently available to somebody new, the King of Pentacles reversed is actually showing me that you may meet somebody that you feel as though you might not necessarily want to approach until you feel you are in a better space. But I'm here to tell you right now that that's a self-imposed insecurity, because what's coming through this King of Pentacles reversed is that you're the one getting preoccupied with status at this point in time, and that person's not looking for a daddy or a mommy to take care of them. So you might as well actually not talk yourself out of potentially a good thing. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.